All right, guys, so it's finally time and I'm so excited. I've got my makeshift workstation set up out here. You'll have to excuse me, it's 80 degrees and you would think that that wouldn't be that bad, but I am like sweating out here. So I am going to get started by taking the template, and I sure hope that y'all can hear me because who is that? That's Shannon. Hey Shannon. I sure hope you can hear me because I'm having to like step away, and while I'm using the jigsaw you probably won't be able to hear me. And if you have questions, I will probably have to wait till after the live video is posted to answer, just because that way I'm not going back and forth. So I'm taking the template that I printed out on paper, taped together in our live last week. I am setting it on my board, which I showed you this board in the live this week. I've got my jigsaw here and my sander, which is down on the ground. So I'm just going to trace around this template. And I have this propped up on a really inexpensive sawhorse from Harbor Freight, if anybody is looking for an inexpensive sawhorse. It comes, I believe, in a set of 2, which that would make sense because you would probably need 2, huh? All right, I'm gonna lean down and just trace around. All right, I got the flowers. It'd be even better if you printed one on cardstock and one on paper, and that way you could use the cardstock one for your tracing. It would give you just a better line for your pencil to follow. And then the, what do you call it, the paper one for tracing all your detailed images on with your carbon paper. Okay, so I've traced my image onto my board. Hook this up. Okay, now if y'all could see me right now, I literally have y'all propped up on a trash can. Hello, Lisa. Hey, Nina. Okay, so I want to show you just a couple things before we get started. My jigsaw is plugged in, so I will not be touching the trigger right now. But when you put your blades in, your teeth need to be facing forward. You're going to be cutting this away, so you want your teeth facing forward. I think that's it. So what I'm going to do before I cut out the detail design is I'm going to hang my board off, and I'm going to cut around it roughly. Okay, so I'm just going to get started. Okay, so this is what my board looks like with the tracing on it, and I wanted to get that excess board off so that I'll be able to work this board better, because I don't want to cut against my sawhorse. So I need to keep my jigsaw far enough away and keep my board moved far enough that I'm not going to worry about hitting that. This board you can just set off to the side. See, this is plenty big for another door hanger if you arrange them right, and I highly suggest if you are trying to get multiple on a big sheet that you draw them on first and make sure they're going to fit. So plenty of room for one more door hanger, and remember, in a 4x8 sheet we get 6 of these. Okay, let me check comments real quick. The sawhorse up close after, Lisa, I believe they only sell one kind at Harbor Freight. These I've had for a while, but it just has metal legs and it folds up. There's these arms that come up and they fold up so that they store real easily. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Now, hey Kim, my Jigsaw has this button where when I release the trigger, if this is pushed in, it still goes. So if yours has that feature, just be careful when you're starting and stopping it. All right, we're gonna keep going. Now, in order to do this, I put my saw blade almost, or like the teeth, almost up to my wood when I start the Jigsaw, and then I'm gonna use the back, I'm gonna use this part to guide it. So I'm not gonna guide it from the front, I'm gonna guide it from the back, real loosely. I'm gonna keep my hand loosely on the Jigsaw. You wanna hold it tight enough it's not gonna come out of your hands, but you don't wanna like grip it and push down. Let the Jigsaw blade do the work. Okay, here we go. I've got a really tight corner, which I could keep backing up and going forward, but it's easier for me if I do this. Let me show you what I've done. All right, it's easier for me if I do this, where I backed up and I went another angle, and then I'm gonna cut that piece off, okay? Now, did you notice that while I was cutting, I was actually pushing my board off this direction so that I would make sure that I did not hit the sawhorse with my Jigsaw. Thank you for sharing, Lisa. I appreciate that. All right, so I'm gonna start right here where I left off. Houston, we have a problem. Did y'all see that? All right, I need to adjust something, so I'm gonna unplug because I don't want to put my hands close to that blade while it's plugged in. So anytime you're messing with the blade, changing it or whatever, you want to unplug, okay? Never have the power on. And one of these came loose. Hey Kathy, thank you for sharing too. Hey Connie. All right, tighten that up. We should be good now. Where did I get my pattern? Nancy, my pattern is for sale on my website. So kinsleyscreativepalette.com. Okay, we're back in business. And hey, don't be afraid if something happens to stop. Okay guys, this doesn't have to be a quick rushed process. All right, this is a really tight corner too. So I'm gonna come from this side. Still there? Oh, you're welcome, Nancy. All right, I'm still cutting. I'm going to show y'all real quick. You can go back and clean this up if you want to. You see, I didn't get right on my lines, but it still is the shape of a flower, so I'm not going to worry about that. You can totally go back and cut that closer if you wanted to. All right, guys, I'm going to keep going. If you hear the board, if you hear the, I don't know, like the loud vibration noise, it's because there's not much board there and it's vibrating a whole lot. So you just have to kind of bear down and go through it. So let me show you what I did right here. Get my hands off the trigger. All right, so when I was going around, I knew I was not going to be able to turn that corner quite as tight as I wanted to. So I backed it up and I went ahead and made that cut. So now all I have to do is do straight cuts for those 3 places. Okay, let me make those straight cuts. And I'm trying to think. I want to do this. We've got one more cut to make and we're all done. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to get, okay, hopefully you can see that. Okay, let's see, what did everybody say? Scroll saw. Kathy, you can? Yes, Lisa, Kathy, I have tried a scroll saw. This goes much faster and I like it better. You look like you have a lot of workroom. Okay, Nicole, let me see if I can see your comment. This sawhorse came from Harbor Freight. It came in a pack of 2. It folds up. Let me show you how it folds up. So, guys, I'm going to show you how to sand this first. Then remind me to come back and show you how it folds up. All right, guys, when you're done with your saw, unplug it. Unplug it. And I showed you the other day the sander. So I'm just going to turn it on. It's kind of bulky. Literally. Just right along the edge like that. Okay guys, it is all done. So to answer your question, yes, you can cut it with a scroll saw. Here's my door hanger. Let me show you the pattern next to it. Okay, here's the pattern. Here's the door hanger. See that? So your next step would be, if you want to draw the details on, you would put carbon paper right under here, and you would use a pencil and you would draw some of those details right onto your board. So yes, you can use a scroll saw. Let me show you this sawhorse. Take this off. Move that. All right, let me see if I can angle down a little bit. This is real fancy, guys. My phone propped up on the trash can against the Roundup can because I'm cool like that. All right, so it has this screw. You just lift that up. Okay, and you do that same thing for this side. Unscrew it. You just lift that up. Then these legs just come together, just like this, to store. So it would literally just prop up against your garage wall or wherever you want to do it. So really there's not a lot of work area on the top. I was just holding my board and using my body weight to and leverage to keep my board somewhat stiff. Any more questions before I jump off? I feel like that was a pretty quick live. I gotta go in and get Not So Stinky so I can go to a choir concert. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Nicole. I really appreciate y'all jumping on. I know this is not the ideal time of day, but I really do appreciate it. And if you have questions and it's not live anymore, just ask and I would be happy to answer. Oh, okay. So Steve and Barb, let me get closer so I can read these. All right, I had multiple people ask me what kind of wood that is. I actually showed you in the live that I did earlier in the week. I believe it was Tuesday morning. And does my wood splinter? So as long as your teeth per inch on your blade is, as long as you have enough teeth per inch and you have a good sharp blade, you don't get much splintering with this. But if you do get splintering, which I really didn't have, I mean, I didn't really have any, but I did go ahead and sand along the edge, just barely hit it. Now I will tell you my sandpaper, because that's something that I didn't want to leave off, is 120 grit. Okay, so that's kind of more of a fine sandpaper. It just took those rough edges off. All right, friends, I think that's it. I'm gonna go get Not Stinky and go to my son's choir concert, but thank y'all for joining me, and I hope that you'll join me next week to paint this pretty baby. It's gonna be super cute. I can't wait. And if you have not gotten a template yet and you want to cut your own, you can grab this over on my website. It is a PDF that you download and then put together, and I've also done a live showing you that as well. So y'all have a fantastic night. It's almost Friday, guys. It's almost Friday. So hang in there. Bye, guys. Talk to you later.